Living in a disability world is unbelievably lonely. Most people do not understand your life. They don't understand the struggles that you go through. But at Turn Center, they're around families like us all the time. So not only do they understand it, they know how to help us.
When I think about the therapists at Turn Center, there's a part of me that I'm at ease. I actually am rest assured that even with where he's at today and the challenges that he still faces today, he's got a team behind him, and they get a game plan that is like intertwined with one another, that don't just help him with speech, that don't just help him with OT, but like really kind of address him as a whole.
We know that we can't come in and just change everything for somebody, but we know that we can teach families and we can give hope. And I think that's as important as any other skill I'm going to teach a family, is to make sure that they have hope.
When we went to Sagan's very first doctor's appointment, his pediatrician, started asking us all these things, like, is he rolling over? Is he doing this? Is he doing that? And we just kept saying no, 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 no. And it came back that he was diagnosed with Pitt-Hopkins syndrome. When Sagan was first diagnosed back in 2017, he was one of 600 known cases in the world.
We don't know what to do anymore. We need help. We don't know how to do this anymore. We've tried. We don't feel like we're making progress, and we just need help.
When we started at Turn Center, he wasn't rolling over, he wasn't sitting up.
So Sagan started at Turn Center when he was 2 years old. So we've been there about 7 years.
I remember the first time walking in, it was like coming home. It became so apparent to us that these therapists, that this team was gonna be the wind in our sails.
Turn Center called me one day looking for a speech language pathologist to come work here. And I came and took a tour and just fell in love with it. I love working with kids, helping them find their voice, helping them find purpose and how to interact with their family. The therapists, everybody who works here is a family.
So I've been here 14 years, started out as an occupational therapist, moved into OT supervisor, OT PT supervisor, clinical director, and then recently have been asked to step in as interim executive director. So our mission is to provide outstanding therapy services while instilling hope in the families we serve.
We're here to help them on the road of life as much as they can.
I love for people to understand what we're doing here, because it's quite incredible. I've seen so many cool things happen. I've seen families come in who are really having a hard time and then leave our facility feeling hopeful. And so being able to talk about that's easy. It really is a genuine sense of joy that I get to be able to share what's happening in this building, because it's affecting so many people.
It is a group effort for every child that comes in here, from the front office all the way through. I think it's a very welcoming environment for our families and for our kids.
We do provide therapy, obviously, here in our outpatient clinic, and we serve around 350 kids a week on average here in the clinic. And then we have school therapists that travel all over the Panhandle. Our reach it's far and wide. We really do. When we say we serve the Panhandle, we serve it, and we serve it well. We see over 1,500 kids in the schools on average per year.
A lot of us don't think about being able to walk. A lot of us don't think about being able to run or even to speak. These are things that we just do without effort. These are things that we do without thought. And these are things that he wants to do so bad.
So in 2020, he wasn't walking, he had made a lot of gains, but he wasn't really where he is now. And then last year at our Celebration of Hope, he was out there dancing.
So with Sagan, sometimes it's hard to find a motivation for him to move. That was a big issue, is trying to get what motivates Sagan to move.
Well, I feel like his communication has grown significantly. When I first got him, he would push sleep on his device and put me to sleep, or I would pretend to go to sleep. And that was his love. I think just being able to direct somebody's actions where he hasn't been before. So we've gone from that over the course of several years, and we've taken some episodic care breaks and let them go and do communication at home and then come back. He is starting to be able to make choices between activities, and sometimes they're the activities for him, not necessarily always directing me to do something.
When we went to Turn Center, our therapist spoke to us more like people that could relate to our experience. They work with families like us all day, every day. We finally found people that got it.
By the time I started seeing him, he was crawling. He was pulling up into standing at surfaces and starting to kind of cruise, but not taking any independent steps and not standing on his own. And he is now able to walk on any kind of level surface by himself. He can climb up on surfaces, much to his mom and dad's dismay, because he can get on all the furniture now. He's doing all that really well.
We can tell you a lot of his favorite activities now based off of walking alone, because he's going to travel to the things, he's going to migrate to the things he wants to do versus the things he doesn't want to do.
Another big aspect is he's walking now, which is what he was not walking when I had him before. He was carried everywhere, and so now he can walk, and he loves to walk through those blue doors and go say hi to people.
It's so humbling and it's so incredible to see where he's come and to watch the love that's been poured from our therapists. He has had a variety of different therapists while he's been here, and I'm telling you, he's received top-notch care.
Our goal for Sagan has always been to be as independent as possible, and through his independence is where we've been able to learn who he is.
Just watching him get excited about catching a ball, another thing that we take for granted. I'm passing the ball back and forth to him, and he's just, his face is lighting up, because I think even down deep, he knows this is something that I struggle with, that this is a challenge for me, but I'm doing it.
My hope is that every kid that I see, or every kid that is seen in this place, continues to progress like Sagan has. And I think that the therapists that see him are some of the most generous and loving people you'll meet. And I think you can see that through the care that they've given him for the past 5 years.
And since we've been at Turn Center, he has just run through barrier after barrier after barrier. And so I think about, man, when we first came here, he wasn't doing most of the things he can do now. Where's he going to be at in another 6 years?
Before Turn Center, I had a very clear picture of our future with Sagan, and after Turn Center, now I know the possibilities are endless.
A lot of times for me, the progress that we see in the kids isn't because of anything I did. Again, it's like a proud mama moment. Like, I can reflect back and know I've done a good job. If the therapists are providing therapy and we can see that a kid willed himself into his first dance for the first time, took his first steps at home or walked into a classroom, spoke his first words through a device, or whether he said, "I love you, Mom," in person, I know that what we're doing is good.
The Turn Center means hope for our children.
I have a dream, along with a lot of people here, for big things for this place. And I believe that if we are really genuine about who we are, and we tell the stories that are happening in this place, people are going to want to come and be a part of that. And I want to be a part of that. We've been around for 94 years, and it's really, really important to me that we secure another 94.
I think about when he couldn't walk, and I think about how my other two children walked before he did. And I think about all of the work you put in to getting him to that moment. And I think about the thrill of that moment. When it happens, your heart just jumps out of your chest.
It takes grit. And resilience. And I think that is part of the reason they can do what they do so well. because they come in and no matter what's going on outside of their life, they're making sure the kid gets their best here. And a lot of times that's what parents need to see too, is that, man, these therapists are digging in, they're doing the hard work with my kid, we're gonna do this at home too. And so I just think that speaks about, they're so passionate that they don't, no matter what, they're gonna come here, they're gonna love on this kid, and they're gonna make sure that they have the best.
And so to see where he's at now, I don't think we ever thought that it was possible. I don't think we ever thought he would be able to function on his own. I don't think we ever thought he would be. So seeing him now walking around owning the house, like, he's the king of this house, it makes me think like, well, there's no telling what he'll be able to do. There's no, I no longer have limits or, a hopelessness that I had for his future, because now I know the future is absolutely possible, and the possibilities are endless.
When you had that little baby, you had all these dreams, you thought all these things in the world, only to one day get a diagnosis where you're like, is he ever going to do any of the things that I dreamed of? And then you take him to a place like the Turn Center, and things that you wondered were possible become possible. So supporting the Turn Center is a life-changing thing.
If we're not here in another 10 years, who's going to serve the 2,200 plus kids that we serve? Like our reach is far and our reach is wide, and we want to be able to continue to provide that for the Panhandle.
We support Turn Center because we believe in what they do.
I just want to say thank you to anyone who has given, whether it's their time, their resources, their talents. We couldn't do this without you, so thank you for saying yes. Whatever that meant to you, whether you're in the room with us or whether you have helped us with countless other inclusion events, from the bottom of my heart and from this entire team, I want to say thank you.
Oh, so thankful. I don't think that our kids would make the progress that they make without our donors. I don't think we could do our job. We could do it, but I don't think we could do it as well without our donors.
And everything that we've been able to have and to experience at Turn Center isn't possible without donors. I mean, it's a nonprofit here in Amarillo, Texas, and it's because of donors in the Panhandle that make all that possible for Turn Center, but also for families like us.
My hope is that you will support Turn Center. My hope is that you can see where we were 5 years ago, where we are today, how much his life has changed, how much his life has changed our lives. And I hope that whenever you were asking yourself, should we support Turn Center, I hope that you will see the results that this place does, the results that this place gives, and the lives that it changes.
Hope is being able to see the best in the kid when others maybe don't see that. It's being able to forward think 5 years down the road and see what a kid can do when maybe their parents don't know what they can do, or they have very little hope in that their kid will ever sit up on their own or take their first steps or say their first word.
The world has hope. I really think it keeps us going. It gets us up every day.
They're there to encourage you. They're there to take this ugly, negative, seemingly hopeless situation and show you that it's not, and show you how, show you what we're going to do and how we're going to do it and how much better it's going to be.
Hope is trusting in things you can't yet see.
Oh wow, I wasn't expecting this. Over the last year, I have watched so many people pour their time and their energy into making this place run well. So I think my definition of hope is that it's that village mentality, that when people really care and we all come together collectively and we are fighting for the same thing, that's hope, right? Like everybody on the same team, heading in the same direction. Like that's where I've seen hope.
I think that hope is knowing or believing that there is better ahead of you. I heard somebody one time say, you can live like 30 days without food, you can live like 4 days without water, but you can't live a second without hope.